Greetings, 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 everyone. Come on in the room. I am super excited to be able to introduce to some and re-announce to everybody else the Pearl Hale podcast. So you all got to come on in now. I know you hear me. I know you hear me. It is about that time. So it's 10 o'clock in some places, 9 o'clock in some places at night. In some places, it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. But wherever you are, you have got to be on the show tonight. Come on in. We're welcoming your comments. You know, Pearl Hale is going to have some super exciting, inspiring, fearless, just amazing, listen, thought-provoking, because she is a thought leader. She is going to have some thought-provoking conversation for you all tonight that I guarantee is going to be transformational for everybody who attends. Now, listen, here's the beautiful part. You can rewind, you can
Welcome to the Pearl Hale Show. I am so excited. Thank you. If you are 35 to 55, older or younger, I want you to come in the room. I have an exciting guest tonight. From Hale, you know, some of us who grew up in the church, it's a great thing. But some people have come into Christ consciousness who didn't have the traditional church experience. And my guest tonight is one of those people. And we're going to talk to Servant Lucia Herbert. Don't touch that dial. We're going to be back with you.
Use this phone? Yes. I don't want to use my phone. Where? I'm gonna put this on something. I don't want to fall.
Yeah, me neither. It's gonna be embarrassing.
Wait, I actually had a camera.
Huh?
I actually had a camera.
All right, we're on.
Can't see it. Mom.
Welcome back to the Pearl Hale Show. I'm so excited. My guest is none other than Servant Lucia Herbert. And
Herbert.
Herbert, that's right. Lucy, how are you today?
I'm good.
Great.
I'm
it's
good.
So good to see you. We was in New York, and I tell you, her story really transformed a lot of lives. For those of you, for some reason, Facebook had a connection problem with our StreamYard. So if those of you can go and watch us on YouTube, type in the Pearl Hale Show on YouTube. You can watch us there as well. We're so excited. We know that you're going to be blessed tonight. Lucia, it's one thing to have church experience such as myself. But you came from a different past. I want you to tell us a little bit about your background and some of the childhood traumas you experienced.
Wow. Hi, good evening. Thank you, Pastor Pearl, for having me once again. Okay, my mom is Jewish. My father's Puerto Rican. There's 7 of us. I'm the middle child. Past experiences, rape, drugs, foster homes, sickness. It was a lot. It was a lot as a child. As I started getting older, it started to become a little bit more easier.
Mm-hmm. I want you to talk about some of the, you encountered some things as a child.
Yeah.
I want you to elaborate on that a little bit more.
Well, elaborate on the physical part of it or the supernatural part of it?
The physical part of it, the things that you went through as a child in your house.
Well, at the age of 5, I was raped by two of my siblings. And at the age of 9, I started getting high on cocaine. And I got into prostitution at an early age.
Wow.
I was a stripper.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it was really traumatic. I went to a lot of foster homes, you know.
So a lot of your childhood was a lot of brokenness in your childhood, a lot of things that you had to endure.
Yes. Yes. You know, my mom, she was a single parent. And my mother was also a victim of rape.
Mm.
You know, having 7 children, being a single parent and going through what she went through. You know, I don't, you know, she tried her best.
Wow. You know, when we come back, we're going to take a little bit of a break. But don't touch that dial. I want you to come in the room. If you're 35 to 55, older or younger, I want you to join us tonight on the Pearl Hale Show. We have From Porn to Purpose, how God can move a person shift you from one place to the next. Don't touch that dial. And for those of you who are joining us on Facebook, stop over to YouTube, click and subscribe. There is a problem with our Facebook link. Thank you so much. We'll be back in a moment with more.
Thank you for tuning into this special TV broadcast. Thank you for tuning into this special TV broadcast. For only $19.95, you can receive a digital copy of this special episode for your personal library. Click the donate button below and we will email you your digital download link. Thank you for your support.
Thank you. We're back with Servant Lucia Herbert. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. Lucia, talk about how did you get introduced to pornography and prostitution? You're on mute.
Sorry.
Okay, it's okay.
I'm back. At the age of 9, I started getting high on cocaine. And that's pretty much where it started. At 9 years old, 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, I was introduced by, you know, my children's father. And he pretty much introduced me to, you know, to the world, to the things of the world. I mean, we used to go to clubs and he used to sit me down and he used to introduce me to men. And from there, pretty much, you know, I had to support my habit. So I got into stripping, prostitution.
That's you know, that's interesting. You have an interesting story. Tell us about how did you come in contact having no background of no church or not really knowing Christ, how did you have an encounter with Christ? How did you come to know Jesus Christ?
Well, as a child, I started having supernatural encounters at the age of 5. I didn't understand what they were, you know. I mean, supernaturally, in the supernatural, I would see things like half man, half horse. I would go into realms. I accepted Jesus at 12 years old. You know, in elementary school, I had this, this one friend, and her mother introduced me to church. And I accepted Jesus, not knowing, you know, what I was doing. As I started getting older, I believe that it was Christ that chose me. To be honest with you, I don't even know. I know that it was his grace and his mercy.
You said your mom was Jewish. Did you grow up
Yes.
going to the synagogues or
Well, we
anything?
did.
Okay.
We did. We celebrated certain holidays. We did go to the synagogue, especially when the time came when they blew the shofar, So a lot of holidays.
God has had his hand on you. Tell us about some of the when we come back, you're going to tell us about some of the things that he's been doing to you. Lucy liked to roll through the hood.
Huh?
I said, Lucia, she likes to roll through the hood. She likes to tell people.
I love it.
Trenches.
I love it.
And God uses all of us in our own unique way. We're going to talk about that when we come back. Don't touch that dial. We have some awesome guests coming up. You don't want to miss it. Watch the Pearl Hale Show, Transformational Speaks. We thank you for joining us tonight. Some of my guests coming up, TEDx Talk speaker, Mr. Hall. He works with the young people in Chicago to stop a lot of gang violence. And so you don't want to miss. We got some exciting shows with Dr. Denise Abraham, and we'll be back after these few moments. Commercial break.
Your best. So I'm asking you, I'm demanding from you, whatever it is in your life, give it your best. Not for me, not for a teacher, not for moms, not for you. Like, what you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? Your best. Grind. Go all the way to graduation and be like, all right, that's one step. I'm up to the next. College, boom, I'm up to the next. Master's, boom, I'm up to the next. PhD, I'm up to the next. Anybody want to go to med school? Yeah, save my life, baby. Thank you. I want a doctor. Thank you. Your best. What does your best look like? And we haven't been able to answer that question. None of you, I would bet, can answer the question. Because we haven't asked ourselves that. We haven't given ourselves that opportunity to give our best.
Warning. Your AC, heating, plumbing system, or an appliance will break down in your home, and they can be really expensive to repair. That's why you need Select Home Warranty. For less than $1 a day, you can be protected against unexpected repair costs that are not covered by your homeowner's insurance.
Having Select Home Warranty probably saved about $2,500 to $3,000 this past year.
You can place a claim 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll send a pre-screened local technician to fix the problem. And if for some reason we can't fix it, we'll replace it. With our advanced technology contractor network, when a covered system or appliance breaks down, we get there fast and fix it right, and you only pay a small service fee. And if you're one of the first 50 callers, we'll take $150 off your policy and give you 2 months of free coverage. We'll even include free roof coverage. With Select Home Warranty for less than $1 a day, we've got you covered. Call now.
1-800-213-2329.
Welcome back. We're so excited we thank God. You know, every time you have a good show, we're having an issue with our Facebook connections. But you can go over to YouTube, go to the Pearl Hale Show, and you could see the show live on YouTube. Lucy,
Hi.
hi, Lucia.
Yes.
Um, what compelled you to start helping people with conditions that you dealt with or things that you've dealt with? How did you start working in the ministry? Because I know you come with a crew. You came with a crew. Last time when we was in New York, you came with
Yes.
a crew of people who had followed you from the neighborhoods who you helped. And
Right.
so definitely a trailblazer, someone who's doing work in the community and transformational speaks, you know, an example of life transformation. So talk a little bit about the work you do in the community and what was the shift? What was the change?
Um, when I truly got delivered, I mean, I had a hard life.
Mm.
And when I truly got delivered, I didn't want to keep it to myself. There are other people out there that have went through what I went through, that are still bounded, that still need to be saved, delivered. And I wanted to be able to be not only an encourager, but an inspiration to let other people know that they don't have to stay in that state. That God did it for me, and God is no respecter of person. God will do it for them too. And that is my passion. And not only that, but the enemy. I give God a reason to spare my life another day.
Mm.
And it brings me joy that I know that God is honored when souls get saved and delivered. And that is my passion. I I minister to everyone, everywhere that I go. I tell my story. You know, I'm I'm a whole lot better off set than I am on set. That is the truth. I'm more comfortable. You know, but I know that this is what God wants. Not only, not only um, the Lord being pleased with it, but it pleases me also to be out there and ministering in the streets. It's just a passion of mine. I have a love for people. And if I can help anyone, I'm gonna, through my testimony, that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, you have an
Mhm.
awesome testimony.
I mean,
And
there's a whole lot more. Is like I said, being on set, being live. I get a little, I still get shy. I do a whole lot better in person.
you're just doing fine. Listen, for those of you who just joined us, if you're 35 to 55, older or younger, I'm so glad that you stopped in to join us on the Pearl Hale Show Transformational Speaks. We're excited. We have a lineup of exciting guests. We're talking tonight from Porn to Purpose, the remarkable story of Lucia Herbert. And we're just so thankful for her in your life and you going out there and bringing people in. So many people have had so much to go on in their lives. And you've had a lot, you've seen a lot, you've seen a lot of tragedy, some things that you haven't said. What would you
Yeah.
say to someone who is struggling with prostitution, drug addiction? Um, what are some encouraging words you would give to someone who is struggling with that as we speak?
First, I want to say that I love you. To everyone that's struggling, I love you. And I love you when no one says they love you. I love you when you wanted to hear the words that I love you, because, you know, I know that when I was going through, I know that the words I love you meant a lot to me. You know, you can do it. I mean, God did it for me. And when I tell you that I was the type of crackhead that they would say, heroin addict, cokehead, prostitute, that I used to be in the streets picking cigarette butts from the floor, picking cigarette butts from the projects floor. I mean, eating from garbage cans. And the Lord did it for me. He did it. He did it. No, I didn't. I was comfortable in my state. I never thought for a second that this is who, you know, um, this is who I was gonna be. Now, I would tell your story. Don't be embarrassed. I'm not gonna say that it happens overnight.
Right.
You know, your testimony. You know, and those that are bounded, you know, with addiction and prostituting, you know, just know that Jesus does love you. He's real. I've had encounters with him. You know, I may not be expressing myself the way that I should at this moment, because there is a lot inside of me that I want to get out to the world. But you know, it's a process. And I know that this is just my beginning, and it's your beginning, because you're hearing my testimony and you're looking at someone that is transformed.
Yes.
You know, to God be the glory. I'm not who I used to be. I'm not that prostitute. I'm not that crackhead. I'm not that heroin addict. I'm not, you know, that alcoholic. You know, I'm a
And you've
wife.
had a lot of things to fight through. And that's another thing. You've had a lot of things to fight through.
Yes.
Which is so important for people to hear, because, you know, a lot of times, I mean, you came out cooking, I mean, hitting and swinging, you know, kicking
I
and
was,
swinging.
let me tell you something. I was a tough cookie out there. Um, you know, prison. I mean, there's so much that I've endured. And there's just, you know, every time I get on and I do a live, it's like it's so little time for me to be able to really express what I've been through. I'm more at this moment want to be an encourager and an inspiration, letting other people know that God got me through it. God's going to get you out. I believe that with my whole heart, my whole soul, you know. And I believe that anyone that's looking at, hearing my testimony at this very moment, there's hope. There's hope
Oh,
for you.
yeah. Oh,
There is
yeah.
hope. And the Lord loves you.
Amen. When we come back, we're going to have more. For those of you who are watching me out YouTube and Facebook, I tell you, you have a whole lot of people you're blessing, because Facebook I mean, we can't get on the Facebook page. I don't know what happened. But you can watch me on YouTube. God always has another way. Also, for those
Thank
of
you,
you
Jesus.
every Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. Eastern Time and 8:30 a.m. I'm sorry, 7:30 a.m. Central Time and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. You can watch me on the Preach the Word Network worldwide or locally in Atlanta. We're so excited about what God is doing in this season through Transformational Speaks. And we thank each and every one of you for watching. Click and subscribe. We're building our YouTube channel, and we're also building Facebook. I'm live every Wednesday. Don't touch that dial. When we come back, we're going to have more with Servant Lucia Herbert. We'll be back with more. And also coming up next week, you want to know how to get your impact the world. This dynamic woman, Dr. Denise Abraham, the CEO of Empowered Women's Network. Don't miss it. Watch this preview. Welcome, welcome to a special edition of the Pearl Hale Show. I'm so excited. If you're 35 to 55, I want you to come on in. We have a dynamic show for you today, or older or younger. We want you to come into this special edition of the Pearl Hale Show. We're talking about from pastors to podcasters, everything that you need to know about getting your message out to the world. And I'm here with none other than the. We thank you. That was a little preview. That was short. Lucy,
Yes.
so God transformed you, and today He's blessed you to be a married woman. I want you to talk about your family. Uh, you ain't cracking. I mean, you still look good. Tell them a little bit about how many children you have, and you're blessed today that you're a married woman. Talk a little bit about that.
I have 10 beautiful children, 13 grandchildren. To God be the glory. And I'm a wife. I mean, my marriage may not be perfect, but I'm a wife, And so my husband, I love you. Thank you, for choosing me. I give God the glory for my children, for my grandchildren, and to everyone that's watching. And I appreciate you, Pastor, so much for giving me another opportunity.
Great.
To be able to express myself and tell my story. And, I sincerely have to apologize because not only am I sharing my testimony with the world, but, I shared my testimony with my own husband to the point to where my own husband didn't believe me. He thought I was always born with a silver spoon in my mouth. But, Nene, 63 more years. God bless you.
Wow. We're going to have final thoughts when we come back. There's a quote from Maya Angelou. I love quotes. And one of the things I look at every day is, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, change your attitude. And so we're so excited what God is doing through you. When we come back, we're going to have final thoughts from Servant Lucia Herbert.
Thank you for tuning into this special TV broadcast. For only $19.95, you can receive a digital copy of this special episode for your personal library. Click the donate button below and we will email you your digital download link. Thank
Welcome back. And Lucy, in our final few minutes, I want you to look into that camera and I want you to encourage somebody. Final thoughts.
Again, you can do it. There is a God, merciful God, that loves you very, very much. You can come out of that addiction. You can come out of that prostitution. I believe in you. God did it for me. God will do it for you. The Lord loves you. Give the Lord a chance, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to tell your story. Other people are waiting for you. Other people need to hear your testimony. There are people out there that that the Lord has, that the Lord allowed you to be born with a purpose, and you are someone's assignment. I believe in you. I believe in everyone that's watching. I believe in you. I do because God did it for me. The Lord loves you. Give God a chance. Give yourself a chance to live. To live free, happy. I'm a witness. Not only did God take me out of prostitution, and I'm a wife now. Not only did God take me out of heroin, cocaine, being raised in foster homes. I lost my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, my niece. I lost my children, that I had that passed. And God continued to keep my mind. He kept me sound. He beautified me. Again, he's no respecter person. He can do it for you. I believe in you. It's time. It's time to shake it off and give God a chance.
Thank you so much. Wow. Thank you for your words of inspiration. Thank you for all the work that you do in the community in making this world a better place. And final thoughts, we thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for joining us on the Pearl Hale Show, Transformational Speaks. I'm your host, Pastor Pearl Hale, and I thank each and every one of you for joining me.
Thank you.
Join me next week, and I thank you for joining me. Also, go over to my website, www.pearlhaleshow.tv. Support some of our sponsors. We got a number of sponsors that it takes a lot of people. And also, if you want to become a sponsor for as low as $10 a month, we thank you. We appreciate you for being there. My last word, forget about past failures, because whatever God has before you is better than what you left behind. Have a blessed evening. Thank you so much for joining the
God
Pearl
bless
Hill.
you.
Bless you. See you next week.